Hey guys, it's JayCee Chandler back again. I'm coming on to respond to a question. I had someone post on the Facebook group that they were having some difficulties getting the jump rings to cut right so that they would be flushed. So none of these are cut flush yet, but I'm going to go through my whole creation of jump rings. All right, so these are made, but they are not flush cut on both ends, and so I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you can watch the other videos. These are purchased from Amazon, 15 gauge wire, multicolor, and I'm going to make a few jump rings from the stash, and then I'm going to cut them and show you exactly what I do when I cut them. So let me just grab the ends of this. Now, before I get started, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways you can make the jump rings, or some things that you can wrap your wire around. I have this, which happens to be a piece of a brush that broke off. This is something that you've probably seen from the Dollar Tree, and I kept the handle when it came off, so that's what that is. And this is, let me see, how thick is this? Where's my thing? So this will make a jump ring right around 11.4 millimeters in width. Let me just see if that's what I come up with. And it really doesn't matter. Let me see. Let me do it in here. The inner diameter, right around 12. It's about 12 millimeter thick jump ring. Okay. So that's that, and you can use any size item, right? This one is 11.5 or 4 in diameter, and then you have all of these, which is a 9 or 10 millimeter diameter. So I have this tool, which I believe this is a 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, and 10. I can't remember because I threw the package away, but this is what I normally use when I am making my tiny charms. Actually, not that one, this one. And I will use this tiny little hole, but that's not what I'm here for. Anyway, this you can use to make jump rings. This you can use to make jump rings, or this you can make to use jump rings. Okay, so I normally use this one, but I'm gonna show you how to do it on here as well, and this would be exactly the same as that. So I'm gonna cut about a 12-inch piece of wire. Doesn't matter, it depends on how many you want to make. I'm gonna do it twice just so you guys can see what's going on, and hopefully this will answer the question from the Facebook group. All right, so here's my wires. I'm going to take one at a time. The first one I'm going to do will be using this, and I'm going to use the larger side, and I'm just going to grab it in between here. No particular format, just right there, and then I'm going to roll it and release and roll it and release and roll it, and that's all you're doing, is rolling around here. Now, because it's aluminum, you want to be careful with how you're squeezing this, because it will dent, unless that's what you want, it will dent up your jump ring. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this because I don't want mine dented up. And I'll show you. So now you got a coil. I'll show you in a minute how that is going to look. This is how I like to do my jump rings, with this wood piece. It's the perfect size for the earrings that and beads that I showed you in the video that prompted this question. So I just press around until it comes around one more time, and then I just continue to press with my thumb and forefinger. So I'm pressing here and I'm pressing here and I'm twisting. And I'm twisting all the way around until I get my, I'm gonna press this down because I like to have this flattened. Sometimes that'll stick up. Press with the forefinger, press with the thumb. And I'm just pressing and twisting, right? And now I'm making a coil, pressing and twisting. I'm gonna twist all of this wire. Pressing and twisting. I'm gonna go ahead and press this down. Use whatever you want to press it down, and you want it to lay as flat as the rest of this on each end, right? Now, to cut it, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can do this. This side has a flat end. This side has a pointed end. See that? It's pointed and it's flat right here. This end, when you have a flush cutter, one side cuts pointed on the inside and this side cuts flat. So I'm going to take this off. And if you notice, this side is the flat side. I like to start here and push this against the flat side. It doesn't matter, it's gonna happen. One side's gonna, unless you get a double flush cutter, and that, I do have one, and I'm gonna tell you a trick on how to do it if you don't wanna get a double flush cutter. You can also use a memory wire cutter. It'll give you a flatter surface, less pointed. So I'm pushing this as close to here as possible. And then I am clipping. Now if you see, everything on this side will have a flat edge and everything on this side will have a pointed edge. Let me see how I can show this to you. See that? Everything on this side has a flat edge and everything on this side has a pointed edge. So what I like to do is I like to take my jump rings and cut this side flush. That means I'm gonna use this flat side against here. Very little, very little. See, I'm only doing just a teeny bit. And then I'm cutting it, and now both sides are flush. And I just twist it until I get them facing each other. Now, because it's aluminum, you can make it happen a lot quicker with your hands than you can with any tool. So there's that flat cut. And let me show you what happens without it being cut. We have that indentation right there. So here's the difference between the two. You got this one, and then you got this one. That one I don't like, it's not a clean cut. So I'm going to do what I like to do. Open it up just a teeny bit and cut the side. And then I'm gonna close it now it's nice and clean. See that? Nice and clean. I'm gonna do it on another color so you can see it a little bit better. Now I wrapped this differently. There we go. I wrapped this differently. I don't know how this coil got wrapped like this. Normally I have the opening on this side. Anyway, I'm going to cut flush to this. Let me see. Flush cut, the flat side to the flat side. And then I'm gonna cut. There's my jump rings. Now if you can see, pointed side, flat side. The pointed side comes from the inside of the flush cutter. Can you see that? Now I'm going to flush cut this. Now both sides are flat, and then I'm going to close it up. You're going to have to manipulate it just a little bit to get it flattened. This end was a very edge, so I think I'm going to use an inside one of these. Let's try it again. I'm going to do this very little, and then we're going to flush it, and there it is, nice and clean. One more time. Take the pointed side. See that angle right there? That's the one you want to cut. This one's the flat side. So now I'm going to cut this. Nice and flush and flat. And there you go. So none of this. I don't like that. It doesn't close all the way. See that? This one closes all the way. I hope that helps. That's how I make my jump rings, and this is how I make them flush to each other. And I hope you have success on it. I really do, because it makes creating a lot easier and cleaner. See that? Nice and clean. All right, guys, go create something amazing. Bye.